Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different, highly practical, and honestly, incredibly focused. We are going to systematically break down a deeply technical certificate of analysis. Why? Because we want to uncover the exact, raw specifications of a commercial agricultural product. Look, if you're in the ag sector or if you're just fascinated by the chemical realities behind the fertilizers that actually grow our food, you already know that marketing labels, they really only tell you half the story. The undisputed truth always lives in the raw data of a lab analysis. So we're going to translate the hard numbers of an actual source document into a crystal clear understanding of what this product actually does out in the field.
Right. Let's just skip the fluff and dive straight into the pure data to answer one massive question. What exactly is inside a 50,000 kilogram batch of commercial potassium humate? Because when you're dealing with agricultural inputs at this kind of massive scale, guesswork literally isn't an option. You need to know the chemical makeup, the physical form, and the precise concentrations of active ingredients. Because these are the metrics that dictate exactly how this product is going to interact with your soil biology. We are pulling these numbers straight from a genuine, verified certificate of analysis to see exactly what a passing grade looks like in the commercial fertilizer industry today.
Okay, before we even look at the numbers, we have to establish trust, right? So we're starting with the official authentication markers from our source document. We've got the official logo of Hyundai Technology, paired up with their blue company stamp and the authorized signature of Marvin Lee. In the world of industrial agriculture and chemical supply, accountability is absolutely everything. These aren't just decorative stamps. This signature is a legally binding guarantee. It's telling us that the chemical specifications we're about to tear into are accurate, tested, and fully verified for this specific batch of product. Let's talk about the logistical reality for a second because it's pretty fascinating. We are dealing with batch number 2025-0216. Just think about the sheer scale here. Quantity, 50,000 kilograms. That is 50 metric tons of agricultural product. It's got a fresh manufacturing date of February 16, 2025, and a really solid 2-year shelf life. But here is the kicker, the packaging strategy. Despite this being a mountain of material, it is packed down into tiny individual 1-kilogram bags. I mean, imagine manually unpacking 50,000 bags. That detail alone tells us a ton about the intended end-user application. It tells us we're looking at a highly concentrated product meant for incredibly precise, measured dosing, rather than just some bulk unmeasured dumping on a field. Now, potassium humate is actually quite physically versatile. The chemical backbone stays pretty much the same, but it can be processed into totally different physical profiles depending on what the application needs are. You've got the fine powder form, which gives you the absolute fastest dissolution rate. Then you have granules, which are way easier for mechanical spreading and give you a slightly slower release. And finally, the flake form, these distinctive, flat, textured pieces that honestly offer a really fantastic balance of solubility and just general handling ease. So for this specific 50,000 keto batch, the analysis explicitly classifies its appearance as black flakes. It also fundamentally categorizes this product as an organic fertilizer intended directly for agriculture. But why flakes? Well, in large-scale operations, flakes are a real game changer. They completely minimize that suffocating dust cloud you usually get from fine powders during transport and mixing, but they still dissolve beautifully the second they're introduced to water. It's the best of both worlds. Okay, let's isolate the single most striking baseline metric on the entire document, a guaranteed organic matter content of at least 80%. When the paperwork classifies this as an organic fertilizer, this number right here is the absolute proof. And we really need to talk about the specific significance of high organic matter for soil improvement, because it is crucial. Soils that have been degraded by years of intensive, heavy farming often suffer from a severe lack of organic matter, which leads to heavy compaction and just terrible moisture retention. Introducing a compound that is essentially pure organic matter, it acts as a fundamental reset button for soil architecture. It dramatically improves soil aeration, it massively increases the water-holding capacity of the earth, and it provides the vital carbon foundation that beneficial soil microbes absolutely need to thrive. So what exactly makes up that 80% organic profile? Let's do a really deep dive into the content value of the humic and fulvic acids here, because these are the core engines driving the product's actual value. We have a guaranteed humic acid content of at least 55% and fulvic acid at a minimum of 50%. Humic acid, sitting at that high 55% mark, is the heavy lifter for long-term soil conditioning. It has a very large molecular structure, so it stays put in the soil, building structure and holding onto nutrients so they literally don't wash away in the rain. Meanwhile, fulvic acid, guaranteed here at 50% or more, has a much smaller molecular size, making it biologically hyperactive. Think of it as a highly efficient delivery truck, grabbing vital nutrients and carrying them directly right through the plant's cell walls. Having both in such massive concentrations means you are getting immediate nutrient delivery paired with long-term soil remediation. Oh, and rounding it out, potassium oxide at 12% or higher, giving you a powerful direct injection of potassium, which we know is a vital macronutrient for plant stress resistance and maximizing crop yield.
Now let's see how this translates to real-world behavior, because it's pretty wild to contrast these two specific properties. On one hand, the lab confirms a highly alkaline pH level, ranging from 9 to 10. And that makes sense. Potassium humate is naturally alkaline because it's extracted using potassium hydroxide. But pair that high alkalinity with this other metric. It is 100% completely water-soluble. This total solubility is literally the golden ticket for modern agriculture. It means that even though it's derived from very complex organic matter, these black flakes are going to dissolve entirely in an irrigation tank. No clogging up your sensitive drip lines, no blocking your spray nozzles. It allows a farmer to take that rich 80% organic matter and all those vital acids and deliver them precisely where they are needed, straight through their existing liquid feeding systems.
After testing all those rigorous metrics, the massive percentages of humic and fulvic acids, the strict pH parameters, the solubility tests, the document deconstruction resolves with this highly authoritative statement. The lab concludes, quote, quality of this product conforms to requirements of in-house specifications. This brings the whole shebang full circle right back to Marvin Lee's signature from the very beginning. It is the definitive, final confirmation that this massive 50,000 kilogram batch has successfully met every single internal quality benchmark and is fully cleared for agricultural deployment. Well, we've just cut straight through the marketing fluff and looked at the raw, undeniable chemical guarantees of a massive commercial fertilizer batch. Now that you understand the exact chemical and physical realities, from that 80% organic matter that literally restructures the earth to the powerful dual action of humic and fulvic acids doing the heavy lifting, it's time to turn the lens back to your own environment. Consider how these precise numbers stack up against what your own soil and crops actually need. If you were looking at a soil test for your land right now, would a highly alkaline, fully soluble injection of 55% humic acid be the missing variable in your crop's success? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Remember, always look past the flashy marketing labels and keep asking the hard questions about the exact science driving your soil. Catch you next time.